What mysterious secret turned a struggling shoemaker into the best craftsman in the village? In a small, quiet village covered in snow, there lived a poor shoemaker and his kind-hearted wife. Their little house stood at the edge of the village. It wasn't grand, it wasn't bright, but it was full of warmth and love. The Elves and the Shoemaker. The shoemaker was honest, hard-working, and gentle. But no matter how hard he worked, money was always scarce. Business had slowed, customers had stopped coming, and winter was harsh that year. One cold evening, the shoemaker sat at his wooden workbench. He looked at the small piece of leather lying before him. It was the last piece he owned. He sighed.
This is enough for just one pair of shoes. Only one. I will finish it tomorrow.
His wife placed her hand gently on his shoulder.
Make them with care. God will provide.
He nodded. Carefully, slowly, he measured the leather, cut the pieces, and prepared everything for stitching. But the light was fading.
I will finish it tomorrow.
He placed the neatly cut pieces on his workbench, blew out the candle, and went to bed. That night, when the moon rose high and the village fell silent, something extraordinary happened. The workshop door creaked softly. Tiny footsteps pattered across the wooden floor. Two little elves entered. They were no taller than a teapot, dressed in tiny, ragged clothes, their ears pointed, their eyes sparkled like stars. Elf 1 whispered,
"Look, the shoemaker is in trouble."
Elf 2.
"He is kind. He deserves help."
They climbed onto the workbench. Without hesitation, they began to work. Snip, stitch, tap, tap, tap. Their fingers moved faster than the wind. They stitched with perfect precision, every seam straight, every cut flawless. Before dawn, the shoes were finished. Beautiful shoes, better than anything the shoemaker had ever made. The elves smiled proudly and disappeared before sunrise. Shoemaker rubbed his eyes and entered his workshop. He froze. The leather pieces were gone. In their place, a perfectly crafted pair of shoes.
How is this possible?
He picked them up. The stitching was perfect, the design elegant. Wife, gasping, "These are the finest shoes I've ever seen." Soon, a wealthy merchant passed by. He noticed the shoes displayed in the window. Merchant, "How much for these?" The shoemaker hesitated. He named a modest price. The merchant laughed. "These are worth far more." He paid double. Double. The shoemaker couldn't believe it. With that money, he bought enough leather for 2 pairs. That night, he carefully prepared the leather again. Shoemaker, curious.
Let us see what happens.
He and his wife went to bed. The elves returned, climbed the table, worked joyfully. By morning, 2 perfect pairs stood ready. And so it continued. Each night, the shoemaker left cut leather. Each morning, magnificent shoes appeared. Customers lined up outside the shop. Word spread quickly through the village. "Have you seen the shoemaker's work? Such craftsmanship, incredible quality." Soon, the poor shoemaker was no longer poor. His shop was busy, his house warm, his heart grateful. But one evening, the wife said thoughtfully, "Wife, we must discover who helps us." Shoemaker,
Yes, we must thank them.
So that night, instead of sleeping, they hid quietly behind a curtain. Midnight struck. The door opened softly, and in came the 2 little elves.
The shoemaker and his wife watched in awe. The elves worked happily, laughing softly, singing little tunes. But as they worked, the wife noticed something. Their clothes, old, worn, torn at the edges, bare feet on cold wood. Her eyes filled with tears. Wife whispered, "They have given us everything, yet they have nothing." The shoemaker nodded. "Shoemaker,
We
we
must
must
thank
repay
them.
their
We
kindness."
must repay their
The
kindness.
next day, instead of cutting leather, the shoemaker bought the finest fabric, soft velvet, warm wool, bright ribbons. His wife sewed tiny shirts, little jackets, warm trousers. She stitched with love in every thread. The shoemaker crafted tiny shoes, perfectly fitted. On Christmas Eve, they placed the little clothes and shoes on the workbench. Then they hid once more. The elves entered. They stopped. No leather pieces waited. Instead, beautiful new clothes. Elf 1 gasped. Elf 2 picked up the tiny shoes. Their eyes shimmered with joy. They quickly dressed. The clothes fit perfectly. They twirled. They laughed. Elf 1, "We are rich now." Elf 2, "And warm." They danced across the table, clapped their hands, and sang a merry tune. "We helped with love, and love came back. Kindness grows, it never lacks." Then they leapt from the table, ran toward the door, and disappeared into the snowy night. They never returned. The shoemaker and his wife stepped out. Though the elves were gone, their hearts were full. From that day forward, the shoemaker continued making beautiful shoes. He worked with dedication, but now he was no longer worried, because he understood something deeper. Kindness returns, generosity multiplies, and when you give with a pure heart, when you work with honesty, when you help someone in need, you may not see magic, but magic will see you. The end.